This is Choplifter. It's a 1985 release for the Sega Master System. It is a port of a port, which is a pretty interesting little history. Let's check it out in the old Master System. Give it a try, shall we? Let's just pop it in. And here we go. I'd like to note that this game wasn't originally developed by Sega. It was developed by a company called Broederbund or something along those lines. They're now defunct, but they were making games for the better part of the 80s and 90s. Now, as you've probably already guessed by the title, Choplifter puts you at the helm of a chopper. And you take the helicopter from an American base to these behind enemy lines to these little hideout little fortress dealies, and you blow a hole in the wall of it and you rescue hostages. This game was released right around the time of the Iran hostage crisis, so there was some speculation, or at least imaginative thought, that you were behind lines in Iran. But the flags on the little buildings seem to indicate that it's England. Looks like the English flag there. So anyhow, the game concept is simple enough, but the gameplay is actually pretty difficult. It's pretty tricky to actually avoid all the little things that they throw at you while collecting the hostages without killing them. The hostages are pretty fragile. You can crush them with your helicopter, you can shoot them by accident, and they can get hit with enemy fire. So you have to be pretty careful in picking up the actual hostages. On the Sega Master System gamepad, the D-pad controls the helicopter's movement, the 1 button controls shooting, and the 2 button controls which direction you are facing. So if you're facing one way, you tap the button and you face towards yourself, towards the screen. And you tap it again and you face the opposite direction you were facing originally. Or you can just hold the button down and you swing the helicopter around 180 degrees. Now, this game was originally programmed for the computer. It was programmed for the Apple II and the Commodore 64, VIC-20, and a few other platforms. And it was such a popular computer game that Sega acquired the rights to it and made it an arcade game. Vastly improved the graphics, but kept the gameplay pretty much the same. And Sega, being Sega, also made that arcade version available on port for the Sega Master System. And the Sega Master System version is pretty close to the arcade version and miles ahead of the computer versions. Pretty interesting stuff. So it's a port of a port. And it's a pretty good game. I definitely recommend picking it up. I picked it up for like $4. I'm Dommy from Classic Games Revisited. Until next time.